This is Sophie Aldred, who was Ace in the series Doctor Who, the 5 Aish Fangirls podcast. No, hang on a minute. The 5 Fish, no, Sylvester's done that one already. 5 Fish Fangirls podcast. The 5 ISH Fangirls. No, hang on a minute, hang on. The 5-ish Fangirls podcast. You are listening to The Tangents and Squee will continue.
The Tangents and Squee continue all the way to episode 76 of the 5-ish Fangirls podcast. Happy New Year, everyone. It is now 2016. But before we dive into everything that is on the schedule for the upcoming year, let's take a moment to reflect on what happened in 2015. Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of the 5-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going around the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Belvedere.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel back in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone.
Hello, and Happy New Year's.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Yay. So, hopefully the new year is treating everyone all right, and you've not written the wrong year on pieces of paper too many times.
Not yet.
I haven't had to write anything for 4 days.
I haven't write the year on any pieces of paper yet, so we'll see what happens when I do.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be the game changer for me.
Yep. Back to work.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, my. Oh.
I have paperwork I have to fill out this week that I'm going to have to put the year on. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Like you have the writing utensil in your hand. Like it's 2016, it's 2016, it's 2016 as you're writing the 5. Like crap.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, a 5 is easy to correct to a 6.
That is true.
That's true, yeah.
You do have that in your favor. Went from 4 to 5, that's a little harder, but from 5 to 6.
5 to 6, you just have to fill in the gap.
Yep.
At the bottom of the 5.
Fill it in and yeah. So, anyway.
You round off the top a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we've got quite a bit to talk about. So we're gonna, not a whole lot of news though, so we're gonna buzz through this fairly quickly here. Some 10 o'clock news, unfortunately. These things always come in threes. That's what they say, and he was number 3, unfortunately. But Jason Wingreen, I preface here, the original voice of Boba Fett, the proper voice of Boba Fett, not the redubbed voice of Boba Fett in the remastered George Lucas cuts. The proper voice of Boba Fett has unfortunately passed away at the age of 95. He has apparently over 200 credits to his name on IMDb, but for things like All in the Family, The Untouchables, The Twilight Zone, Star Trek, those sort of things. But you may not know his name, but if you the few lines he has in The Empire Strikes Back, and like the one line that he has in Return of the Jedi, he was the voice of Boba Fett, and that actually, according to the article, he actually didn't even receive proper credit for that role until the year 2000. He was uncredited, so yeah.
It's quite a long time.
I know. But so
20 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well kept secret.
Mm-hmm. Go around telling, yes, I'm the voice of Boba Fett, and they're like, it doesn't say that. Like, really? Yeah, I am.
So it's interesting. It says that he initially auditioned for Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Imagine how different that would have been.
Yes.
Yoda would have sounded like Boba Fett instead of a cross between Fozzie Bear and Miss Piggy. Sorry, Mr. Haas, but so anyway, so obviously at 95 years old and all of those credits, he lived a very long and fulfilling life, and hopefully he got to see The Force Awakens before he passed. See the legacy continue on. And speaking of Star Wars,
Yep.
our other piece of news.
Good news.
Our other piece of news. Break out those calendars, but use pencil because everything here is subject to change. But you can mark your calendars for the next 5 Star Wars related movies. Obviously, the most immediate one next is Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is due out of December of this year. Actually, it's like Episode 7 just came out, and here it is, a new year. We could say, hey, we're getting a Star Wars movie this year, so that's not a bad thing. But apparently, this is going to tell the story of some of the rebellion who helped steal the plans for the Death Star. So this is pre-Episode 4. For some reason, I had it in my head that this was like an offshoot of Episode 7, but no, it's pre-Episode 4. So completely different cast.
So we got, including The Force Awakens, we got 3 forward-looking ones and 3 backward-looking ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. That is due out.
Which isn't bad. I like backstory.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Episode 8, which doesn't have the rest of the title yet, is due out May 26, 2017. So by the time we get to Rogue One, we'll only have 6 more months before the next Star Wars movie. So.
Just a little over a week before my birthday.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to be asking for my birthday.
Make sure your Memorial Day weekend is wide open in 2017. And then those 2, I think, are pretty much set in stone as far as the releases go. So, considering they're supposed to start filming Episode 8 like this month, so I think their schedule is pretty much set. I would hope at this point.
Unforeseen delays.
Yeah, like people breaking their legs while filming.
I was just about to say something like that.
But the following 3 are a little more, probably more subject to change, just because you never know. So after Episode 8, we're getting the first Star Wars anthology, the Han Solo story, which right now is scheduled for May 25th of 2018. And then Episode, was it 9? I can't read Roman numerals. Episode 9 is due in 2019, and then Star Wars Anthology Boba Fett is supposedly going to be released in 2020. So, Star Wars.
5 movies in 4 years. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
And then our last bit of news, some housekeeping. The January book for the Traveling the Vortex Book Club is been announced. It is The Legends of Ashildr.
Which I got at the end of the year, and I've already read the first story.
Yep, I've read the first story. I'm a couple chapters into the second one, and so far I'm enjoying it.
I've only read like the first page or so of the second story. So I've started it technically, but not very far into the second story in Legends of Ashildr.
And it Ace at the voting to not have to do a coin flip.
Legends of Ashila won by a surprisingly wide margin for.
Yeah, it did.
Because usually it's much closer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because she's fresh in everyone's brain coming off
Yeah.
of season 9.
How much did it win by? What was
I want
the tally?
I want to say like 5 or 6, and then 2 of the other 12 Doctor books had a vote each. Let me go back and check here.
So are they like short? Are they shorts then? Is it a collection of shorts, or is it like a Schilder's diary, or?
It's a collection of shorts.
Oh, okay.
Collection of 4 short stories.
Okay.
So, and the first story is itself a collection of stories, sort of.
Mhm.
No, okay.
Yeah.
And there's
Which is
stories
cool.
within stories, and
Okay, yeah. A Schilder won by 5 votes, and Big Bang had 1 vote, and Royal Blood had 1 vote.
Curiosity got the best of everyone, I guess. Must know more about this character.
Mm-hmm.
Because heaven knows there wasn't a lot for us to say about her when we talked about her last week. So
Yep, that's true.
I might have just bought it.
what, you just ordered it online?
Pretty much.
I actually went out to the bookstore for a copy and bought it because I had gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
sweet.
But it's nice book. Hardcover, nice book, nice jacket.
I should have it by Wednesday.
Nice.
So it's
The stores around me don't sell Doctor Who books, except for used, a few used bookstores. I found a few Doctor Who books, but they're the older ones.
Yeah, the novelizations.
219 pages.
If I was younger, I would say I could get that done in less than a day, but now I have responsibilities.
First world problems.
I read a 300 and something page book overnight because I had to bring it back to the library the next day.
Well, if that is an incentive, I don't know what is.
I mean, there used to be a time from the 4th book on, I read the Harry Potter books when I first got them in less than a day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's times I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning to finish them, but that's not fun.
Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's move on here to this week's topic, which is our second annual Fandom Year in Review. I tried to make that epic sounding. In space. No. To the death. No. That's on the list.
Technically, everything is in space, even here on Earth.
That's true.
Fair point.
That's true.
I mean, because the Earth is in space.
That is true.
Unless you talk to my sister when she thinks that when she was little, she thought the Earth was stuck in Jello.
But the Jello would have been in space.
Yeah, true, I guess.
Oh, my. Let's save the philosophical talk for some other time, okay?
I didn't mean to get pedantic.
It's like something out of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Is the Earth covered in Jello? Anyway, so 2015 was a interesting year, as they always are. We had comprised our list of every notable things each month, and we realized that March and September were very busy, and the rest of the months not so much. June was all right, but March and September for some reason were quite full. So going back to a year ago, literally, to last January, and big exciting news for us, we joined iTunes. So in a few more days, we'll officially be celebrating 1 year on iTunes. But that was a big step for us and this show, and I think has made things a lot easier for people listening to us. I know it did for me. So we've
they're on our old the episodes that we've released since we got on iTunes are on my iPod. I haven't listened to them really yet, but they're there for when I get around to them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Probably not till like June. That's the right time.
Well, you were there for most of them, so you know what happened.
So, and I have been listening to the ones that I wasn't there for.
Yeah. Those are really the ones that you probably want to listen to. The ones you're not there for, which for me, that's not any of them, because I'm in all of them. So.
If you're not here, we don't record.
I know. I had to explain that to my mom. She was trying to convince me to go on a day trip with her. I'm like, I gotta do the podcast. She's like, but aren't you guys the 5-ish fangirls? I'm like, yeah, but I can't be the ish.
You're the only one who can't not be there. If you're not there, we don't record.
Exactly. It's my computer that has all the software and everything, so.
Yeah,
gotta need me.
Yeah.
And the only other person that would know how to do it, he's in the other room. So. And he's busy. Yeah. But yeah, it's been fun to be able to open up the podcast app and download our show every week. Like,
Yeah.
Yay! So. And obviously, I think it goes without saying, but we'll say it anyway. We definitely appreciate everyone who listens, especially through iTunes, to see the episodes are getting downloaded more than 5 times. So that means that it's more than the 5 of us downloading an episode.
I download them all. I just haven't listened to them yet.
It doesn't know if you actually listened. It just knows if you downloaded.
It knows if you download.
And the numbers are bigger than 5, so.
So it's more than just us.
More than just us. So yay!
Yay!
And then also in January we got the first, and we're getting ready for the second season here, but the first season of Agent Carter. So we got to see Peggy grace our television screens, and we cover that in a couple of episodes where we talk about the premiere on, if you want to go back, way back, all the way to show number 27, where we talk about the premiere of Agent Carter.
Which I think was the first episode we put on iTunes.
Yeah, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Thinking of being on iTunes last January.
Yeah. So, but that was exciting because Peggy's awesome.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing the commercials for season 2. I'm like, well, Peggy. I'm like, they had on the New Year's party we went to. They had on ABC so we could watch the Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, and I kept seeing commercials. I'm like, Peggy. So I'm excited for Peggy to come back. And to see how it ties into everything, because it's all connected. Even Peggy. So February was slightly busier for being a short month. So, unfortunately, Chrissy's not here, but Chrissy attended the Teen Yule Ball, which she talked about in show number 28. At least that's what I have written down. So I hope that's right.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it was early on.
Go with that.
Yeah.
I can check on my iPod.
Yeah. Quick, read the description.
Hang on, let me get to the podcast app.
I'm on it. It's correct. Number 28.
Okay. Woohoo! I'm right.
Yay!
And then Mitch attended Gallifrey 1.
Yep. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Which
you talk about that on show 33.
Yep. That's when I started getting autographs addressed to my preferred name, like I started getting autographs addressed to Mitch, Michelle.
Yeah.
So, that was fun. But yeah, if you want to hear more about that, show 33.
Yep. And then towards the end of February, unfortunately saw the passing of Leonard Nimoy, which was a tough blow to everyone, anyone and everyone who's even a remote fan of Star Trek. So the tributes and everything were very, very moving, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see what, if anything, they do as far as a tribute in the new Star Trek film this coming year. How that'll play into things. Wait and find out. But that was February. And then in March, March started off, well, early-ish March kind of started off with a bang for some people. March is, speaking of trying to break things and delay filming, weird segue. Anyway, March is when Harrison Ford crashed his plane into a golf course, and the jokes started pouring in that he was trying to make the 18th hole in 12 parsecs. If you say 14, he'll correct you. If you don't get that joke, you have not seen episode 7. Thankfully, he was all right. His plane, not so much. But Harrison was generally okay. He walked away from the plane, but and I'm sure he's back to flying his other planes. That did not deter him whatsoever. He loves being a pilot. It's not boring me. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Actually, he talks about, this was pre this incident because it's several episodes back, but they're the Nerdist interview with Harrison Ford, and they talk about his experience as a pilot, and he's had other close calls and crashes in his planes. And actually several people that they have interviewed on the Nerdist who happen to be pilots have stories where they've almost crashed or almost blew themselves up with their planes. Also in March was the going back to Star Trek, Harvey Bennett, famed producer of several of the Star Trek movies, passed away. In happier news, Chris Evans and Chris Pratt completed their Super Bowl bet. And we enjoyed every moment of seeing the photos and the video. That was a win-win with that bet.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously the children that they visited in the hospitals were the real winners of the entire thing. But it was fun to see. And to see them tweet each other. Well, it was fun to see them tweet pre the Super Bowl when the bet happened. And then, they both kept their ends of the bargain and I think went above and beyond the original bets and made some sick kids very, very happy. And there's something about superheroes named Chris. Or something. I don't know.
There's a theme.
There is a theme. Can you imagine what's going to be like if we get one of the Marvel movies with the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy? They're going to have to, all the Chris's, they're just going to have to go by last name. They're going to be like, Pratt, Evans, Hemsworth. Because you can't go Chris because you're going to have 3 heads going, what? Yeah.
On the other hand, it's a very good way to get all of their attention at once.
Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, Chris, yeah?
Yeah. And you can't go blonde Chris because you'll still get 2.
Yes.
Well, that's the case anyway with filming the Avengers. So.
They're using their character names. Rogers! Star-Lord! Thor!
I wonder if that actually happens, like, on set for real.
Well, because right now you got 2 Chris's running around, so... Who knows?
Who knows?
Quick, somebody send a tweet. Tweet all 3 Chris's. And say, if all 3 of you were on set at the same time, would they go by last name or character name? I think I'd just run around going, Chris! Just to see if all 3 of them turn their head. Doesn't matter if I actually needed them or not. I'd just be like, Chris! See what happens. Like,
You'll
what?
probably be kicked off the area, like, why is this crazy fangirl here?
Yeah. I was just testing a theory. That's all. Hold on, I gotta video this and put it on Instagram so there's proof.
No, what you gotta do is get a job working on the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you would have a reason to call Chris.
Yeah. I'll work on that. Anyway. Things you think about. Anyway, also in March, we had another passing. Author Terry Pratchett passed, which his stuff is still on my list of things to read. I just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, I know.
Same here.
Even almost a year later, I'm sorry. I've just been a little busy. I've not forgotten. It's just way far down on the list.
Oh. My to-read list at this point is way too long.
Yeah.
Yep, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Rereading stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's this one Star Trek book that I read a while back, and I recently tracked it down and bought the ebook of it, and I've been rereading that, and I'm getting a lot more out of it now that I've watched all of Next Gen, because it's connected to Next Gen. Generations and First Contact. It's a really interesting book. Perhaps we can talk about Star Trek sometime and I can tell you all about it.
Yeah. I think we will. There's kind of a little anniversary for Star Trek this year.
A little bit.
Just a bit.
Just a little one. It's on a list.
My dad's
We have
turning
lists of
50
lists.
this year as well.
We have lists of lists, and they all keep growing. Then when we want to make a list and we realize we don't have a list for it, we make another list.
Yep.
So, and my dad's turning 50 as well this year.
How exciting. The Queen and my husband's grandmother are both turning 90 this year. Anyway, also, we're still in March. Like I said, March was kind of busy. March, Mitch and I both attended conventions.
Yes.
I attended Indiana Comic-Con, and it was all right. There were some highlights, there were some lowlights, and there was a lot of indifference. But I got to meet Jenna Coleman, which was a highlight. And then Mitch attended Toronto Comic-Con.
Yep, which I noticed that you initially put it down as Fan Expo Canada, which started in September, and then in September you didn't have the attended a convention, so I had to put that in.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Toronto Comic Con was March, Fan Expo was September, so
Gotta keep them straight.
gotta keep them straight.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both put on by the same people,
Yeah.
basically, but Toronto Comic Con's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It was my first time going to Toronto Comic Con.
Mm.
I usually have just been going to Fan Expo, but this year I thought Toronto Comic Con was my chance to meet Karen Gillan, so I went then, and then she ended up going to Fan Expo anyway, so. But I made some friends there. I had fun. It was good. It was good.
I'm still waiting for Indiana Comic Con to announce someone where I'm like, okay, I'm going now, because it's in March again, and they still haven't.
In March again?
Yeah, it's in March again, but they still haven't announced anywhere. I'm like, yep, I'm going. Not yet. There's been a few where I'm like, maybe, but no, not quite.
Like a few where if there was someone that made you like, you were definitely going, that you would also see them, but they're not enough on their own to get you to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's still time.
I'm not sure if I'm going to Toronto Comic Con again, but I think if I do, I might try and get in as a volunteer again. Like for that, because I usually volunteer for Fan Expo, but I might try and get in as a volunteer for Toronto Comic Con.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. I haven't made definite plans regarding that yet, and it's still a couple months off, so
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
I go, if I volunteer, where I stay. I got time.
Yep.
Figure that out.
Yeah. Yep.
And the reports on both of those was episode 37, if you want to go listen to that, if you haven't already, or if you want to relive it.
Mm-hmm. Listen to me talk about Jenna Coleman and how she's an adorable little squirrel, and I wanted to put her...
So adorable! Because I saw her at...
I want to put her in my pocket and feed her Cheetos.
I saw her at Fan Expo, and she was so tiny and
She
adorable.
She's like BB-8. She's a precious little cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Yep. Show 37. And then our wallets cried a little bit when it was announced that Big Finish's license for Doctor Who was extended through 2020. We all went, yay! And then our wallets went, ah!
Pretty much.
It's all good. And then I got to visit Who North America, which was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. I got to take over the screening room and talk to lots of Doctor Who fans, which all those little interviews are available as a collective, one big collective extra episode. It's on our YouTube channel and our blog. It's not up on iTunes yet because it is quite long. Just a little. I talked to a lot of people. They had a lot of people come in that day. So I ended up talking to a lot of people. But that coincided well timing-wise because that also tied into the 10th anniversary of Doctor Who's return to TV. So New Who is hit its 10th birthday, and we talked about that. Special guest Michaela from the Web of Queer podcast.
Yep.
And then I think I tacked on the short little interview I did with Keith from Who North America is on that show as well. And then April was not as busy as March. Probably had to stop and take a breather after all that collective excitement and get your taxes done if you hadn't had them done by then, I guess. But April saw the premiere of Daredevil on Netflix, which took me a while to finish.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same.
Finished in time for the premiere of Jessica Jones in November, so.
Yeah. Well, thankfully it didn't take me till the premiere of Jessica Jones to finish it, but it was a little hard going to watch. I had a vague idea of what I was in for as far as how dark it was and gritty and all that, but until you actually watch it, you really don't have any idea.
Yeah.
And it even if you're comfortable watching it, it's tough subject matter to watch and to binge. At least for me, it's there's a reason I've only finished 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. It's just you can't sit and binge an entire season in one sitting.
That's
it's
why
tough.
I'm only 4 seasons in Supernatural.
That's not to say it's bad. It's just tough to watch. Yeah.
Very.
Games with Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Jessica Jones, I was a little easier, but I think it's because I was better prepared for the format and the subject matter.
I guess,
Yeah.
but I
that and it's David Tennant, so it's like. Ooh.
I've also been watching Star Trek spin-offs in preparation for their 50th this year. So I'm mostly through season 3 of Deep Space Nine, about halfway through season 1 of Voyager. So, and I just watched a bit more today, so I've been slacking a bit on that.
Yeah. I do have to say I like these Netflix original series though, and when they go out, it's all the episodes.
Yeah.
Even if you can't watch it in one sitting, you know it's there. You're not having to wait every week, which is nice. Yeah.
Which is true.
Because we have enough shows that do that anyway.
Yeah.
Which is true for all shows like Star Trek and X-Files, because I started watching X-Files as well, because that's coming back this year.
Yep.
This month.
This month, exactly. Although at this point, I don't think I'm gonna. When I started watching X-Files, I was like, if I binge it, like, I might, if I really pack it in, I might be able to get all 9 seasons watched before then it comes back, and then at some point I realized, no, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm just going to start watching it fresh and hope I don't need to have seen all of the previous stuff.
Yeah.
Which, if it's coming back after this long, they should be accommodating to new viewers anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I have been watching X-Files and Star Trek and
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And I was watching Buffy and Angel, but that I haven't watched any episodes of those in a while.
I think you might be all right because I don't think you run the risk of those coming back anytime soon. So.
I don't think so either, but I want to get them watched. It's just I have all this other stuff, and I want to get all of Star Trek watched before their 50th anniversary. So I have 9 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that to watch. I don't even know how many seasons I've gotten back. Like 5 of Enterprise, 6.5 of Voyager, and 3 of DS9.
Something
Are you
like that.
attempting the movies?
What?
Are you attempting the movies?
I am. I've been trying to keep watch it in broadcast order, so I've been paying attention to to the release dates of the movies and slotting them in where appropriate.
Ah.
So, yeah. Which I've already seen all of the movies at this point, but it's just a matter of rewatching them when I get to the appropriate point in my watch
The continuity
of the spin-off of Voyager and DS9 and all that. But at least I got through all of Next Gen.
I was actually
Thumbs up.
rewatching Next Gen.
That was the task.
Yeah, I've been rewatching Next Gen, but I haven't watched it in a few months. I need to get back on that. So many shows, both new and old, to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then there's all the new stuff. There's Arrow, Flash, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, and this, that, and the other thing.
The show all coming back.
The
with
show
the
topic in itself.
Once I end up getting behind, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta get caught up on that before I'm spoiled.
First world problems.
Yeah.
First world fangirl problems.
Yeah.
But we love them.
Yep. That was only April. Also in April, unfortunately, we had another passing. Cinematographer Andrew Lesney, who is best known for his work on the Lord of the Rings trilogy, passed away in April. May was a little more exciting, at least for some of it for me. Well, for all of us, we had the release of the Avengers Age of Ultron, which was glorious, and we talked about it on show 43. It was awesome. It's a Marvel movie, it's like it's kind of hard to suck, except for those Hulk movies, but we don't discuss those. But it was a nice if you were watching Agents of Shield and you watched the episode that aired right before Age of Ultron, there is a nice tie in there with the helicarrier.
Yes.
And then the following episode of Agents of Shield, so there was that nice little bridge from TV to movie to TV, which was fabulous. And that post credit, there wasn't a post credit with Age of Ultron. There was a mid credit. That was what made Age of Ultron a little unique, is there wasn't a post credit scene. There was a mid credit scene, but not a post credit scene. Even though we all waited.
Yeah,
even though
before that there wasn't going to be a post.
Yeah, even though they said there was going to be one, we all waited anyway, and then there wasn't one.
I waited through Star Wars credits just in case.
I know.
I waited just in case. There was nothing, and then I was able to tell my dad that when I went to see it with him. Like, we don't have to wait. There's nothing. There's just credits and logos. So.
Yep. Yeah, we sat there and the lights came up and people next to us are like, oh, I guess he was telling the truth. Yep, he was. Unfortunately. We did get the mid-credit scene with Thanos. So finally getting off of his chair. He's finally going to get up and do something. And then also in May, we got the newest member of the British royal family with Princess Charlotte. We got a new princess! Along with everyone else who was anxiously tied to Twitter, the Royal Baby Watch hashtag was just flying on, constantly being updated on Twitter and the live feed at the hospital wing, waiting for them to come out with the new baby. And then they left, and we didn't see her again for several months. At the time, it was exciting. Because babies are born every day, but it's not every day you get an actual legit princess. And then also in May, our wallets began crying again. Prematurely crying when Lego Dimensions was announced. And we found out that would include Doctor Who and Jurassic World and several other fandoms and Back to the Future and Ghostbusters. And we all went, I gotta upgrade my gaming system now.
Right? Well, I had to get a gaming system in the first place because I didn't have anything that would have been able to play it. But I bought a PS3 because I checked to make sure that Lego Dimensions was going to be on PS3. And there is a PS3 Lego Dimensions, so I still don't have Lego Dimensions.
I think
you're halfway there.
The newest video console, if you don't count my handhelds, is the PS2.
I have two PS2s. No, I have one. I had two PS2s. We got rid of one. Because Chauncey had one and I had one. And mine was in better shape when we got married. So we kept mine and got rid of his. We have two Nintendo 64s, though. We still have two of those because those are classic. Not getting rid of them.
They're adorable. I accidentally knocked a TV onto my friend's one time and it still worked.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade to at least a PS3, if not a PS4, at some point. So.
Well, I went PS3 because it was the cheapest option.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was able to get one up. I think it was Kijiji.
Mm-hmm.
For like $150.
Nice.
And that came with 2 games, so pretty good deal.
our biggest thing is we don't have a Blu-ray player. And Chauncey's all like, well, we should get a Blu-ray player. I'm like, well, why don't we just upgrade our PlayStation? Because those play Blu-ray. That way we can kill two birds with one stone.
Which we've been getting more Blu-rays in my house since I bought the PS3, and my parents are like, once you move out, we're gonna have to get a Blu-ray player because you're gonna be taking the PS3 with you.
Yep.
I think there was most of when I moved out of my grandparents because they had a Blu-ray, so I was buying all these Blu-rays. And then when I moved out, I had to buy my own Blu-ray player.
Yeah, well, I got a PS3 and it's been playing Blu-rays, and so my parents have been getting Blu-rays. Like my sister bought my dad Avengers: Age of Ultron for Christmas, and it was a Blu-ray. Yeah. So that's his, but the PS3 is mine. So once I move out, Age of Ultron is staying here, and the PS3 is going with me. So they're gonna need to buy a Blu-ray player once I move out because I'll be taking the PS3 with me.
Again, first world problems.
Yeah.
First world fandom problems.
Yep.
So, all right, that was May. And then June was another milestone for us, where the podcast turned 1. Because the first year is always the hardest, trying to, like having a child. Got to keep it alive for the first year. Make sure you don't kill it or something. I don't know. I'm not a parent. It's what I've heard. Anyway, so yeah, we turned 1, and we had a nice little reminiscing show with where we kind of chewed the fat and looked back on the year, and Glenn showed up for the last little bit of it once he realized what time it was. Sorry, Glenn. That was show 48. We had our giveaway, which Glenn ended up winning. So showing up, I guess, didn't play into it whatsoever. But I guess if he wants to, he could think it paid off. I don't know. But that was fun. We had fun doing the giveaway. It's always fun collecting the stuff for the giveaway too. So, and I'm sure we'll do more giveaways in the future for other milestones, because we will be turning 2 here in June. So you never know what may lay around the bend for the future. 48. And then June also saw the passing of Christopher Lee from, most of them know him from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. But again, another big loss as far as pillars of the acting world, especially in the science fiction. I was trying to put science fiction and fantasy together, and it didn't work. Science fiction and fantasy genres, and horror too. Actually, Christopher Lee has made his mark in several genres as an actor. He is obviously a pillar of the acting world who is still missed and will be missed every time that we watch The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Show 49 saw our episode with Lou Mangello, a good friend. We had him on, and we talked Disney and podcasting and book writing and food, because you can't have a conversation with Lou Mangello without it working its way into food, especially food at Disney. So we had a nice chat with him, and I know he enjoyed talking to us as much as we enjoyed talking to him, and we'll have to have him on again at some point. And we'll probably discuss food again. Just saying. So guaranteed, pretty much. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. Work food in there somewhere. But that's show 49 if you want to listen to it. And then towards the end of June, I attended Indie PopCon, and my voice was shot by the end. So if you go and listen to that episode, show 51, I sound quite gravelly, but it was so worth it because I got to do a panel, and I did live podcasting there at the show. I got to talk to Sophie Aldred, and I saw the crowds and the YouTubers, but didn't get close enough because I didn't care. Just not my thing. But it was a fun weekend, and I'm looking forward to PopCon again this year, and hanging out and maybe doing some more panels and probably some more podcasting and talking to celebrities. The very slowly announcing guests, so nobody of note quite yet, but obviously as they announce guests that are exciting, we will discuss them in the news. And then to round out, we got the release of Ant-Man. So our Marvel movies came close together last year. See, I'm doing it this year. I'm still talking like it's 2015. That year, last year, 2015, the Marvel movies were close together. Probably because they knew that there was a little Star Wars movie coming out later in the year. And Ant-Man was a pleasant surprise for some people on how good it was. I actually wasn't that surprised, but a lot of people were. Is a definitely every one to rewatch. I've watched it a couple of times since it came out on DVD and all that, and all the jokes and everything are still just as funny as when I saw it in the theaters. The bit with the tank and the keychain, still hilarious. And July is almost always a big month for one big reason we'll get to in a second. But July, and on show 52, we discuss the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future. We had a nice discussion, and Chauncey came in to discuss the Back to the Future franchise with us, and we pretty much from July to October, it was Back to the Future. Between the 30th anniversary and eventually working our way to a certain date in October, it was Back to the Future this, Back to the Future that, and you were seeing Michael J. Fox and a lot of the other casts and Christopher Lloyd pop up in places and commercials and all sorts of fun stuff. So Back to the Future
I
was...
got the Back to the Future 30th anniversary set for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
Sweet.
Nice. So,
Blu-ray set.
nice.
Oh, the special features. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I will. Pretty special features.
Specials.
shiny.
Shiny. Oh, those special edition box sets get us every time. Then also in July saw the first public outing since her release, leaving the hospital. The first public outing of Princess Charlotte of Cambridge for her christening, which got us some nice photos and her little chubby cheeks and her little christening outfit. And the William and Kate and George and Charlotte looking the magazine cover photo looking family that they are. When you're royalty, and thank goodness that they all have good genes and the genes seem to be passed on to the children. Thank goodness William took after his mother and not his father as far as the looks department. No offense to Prince Charles, but he's not that good looking of a man, in my opinion. But hopefully, as time goes on, we'll see more of Princess Charlotte. But the sightings have been far and few between. But I guess when you're a baby, you don't do much anyway. So when she gets out of the sleeping most of the day phase, then we'll probably see more of her. And of course, the big one in July, or about that time of year, in this case it was July, was Fandom Christmas, also known as San Diego Comic-Con, which we did as comprehensive as a coverage as we could do in show 53, although as of when we recorded, the convention wasn't over yet. But they did cover some big things, some little things. There was a few, obviously there's always a few surprises, some not so surprising, but of course, you keep the well, at least I do, and I think Chrissy does too. We have a tab open, while at work on the computer. I'm just following the SDCC hashtag on Twitter, just trying to keep up with everything. It's dang near impossible. I can't imagine trying to keep up while you're there, let alone from the outside following on Twitter. So you kind of just hit up like The Nerdist and comicbook.com at the end of the day and read the recaps, because otherwise you'll just drive yourself nuts trying to keep up with everything. But that was show 53. That was kind of a long one too, so if you want to listen to that one, you want to carve out some time or be prepared to hit the pause button, because there was a lot. So, from most of our big fandoms, Doctor Who, Sherlock, Once Upon a Time, of course, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the WB/DC, Heroes Reborn, Star Wars. Lots of Star Wars. I don't know why they were talking Star Wars at San Diego Comic-Con. I wonder if they'll be talking Star Wars at San Diego Comic-Con this year. So, maybe just a little.
It might get a quick mention here or there.
Maybe just a little. Be interesting to see if there's a Doctor Who panel at San Diego this year. So whether they'll. The new, if they have the new companion by then, if they'll throw the new companion to the wolves. So, welcome to San Diego. Welcome to the fandom. Enjoy. And then also in August, speaking of Doctor Who-ish, John Hurt, or as we can call him now, Sir John Hurt, received his knighthood from the Queen. Speaking of the Queen and the royal family. Not to downplay anyone else who's received anything from the Queen in the last year, but the knighthood, when you're a civilian, is one of the pretty much the highest honor you can receive. So to be able to call him Sir John Hurt, especially on the heels of his cancer diagnosis, although he's now in remission, so he's cancer free and he's a knight. That's a pretty darn good year for John Hurt, I think.
Yep.
And then August was pretty quiet, except for the second Fandom Christmas. In this case, Disney Fandom Christmas with the D23 Expo, which was just as exciting as San Diego, if not slightly more exciting, depending on where your fandom loyalties lie and what you're a fan of. Obviously, the big announcement out of D23 Expo was the announcement for Star Wars Land going in both Florida and Disneyland, and construction is beginning, actually, or is getting ready to begin. I was at stuff is getting ready, at least at Disneyland, stuff is getting ready to close, or is already closed within the next couple weeks. Stuff is going to be permanently closing in some cases, and in some cases temporarily closing as they start construction for Star Wars Land. So it is happening. It is happening. Still no word, even after all these months later, on as far as a timeline as far as construction. But the ground is being broken and stuff is going to start getting torn down, and it's very, very exciting. And I'm ready to hand over my money and say, yes, please. I would like to go eat in the cantina. Blue milk, please. Want to ride the Millennium Falcon? Yes, please. That was a big thing in August. That we were in that, are our shows back yet? Are our shows back yet? Are our shows back yet? Because stuff wasn't coming back in August like it had the year before. It wasn't coming into September, so we were going through withdrawals by the end of August. Thankfully, September came in and kept us busy with our shows coming back, along with other news. And Mitch attended Fan Expo Canada in September.
Yes.
So.
I met Jenna Coleman. So, that was fun. And got to volunteer and where the celebrity panels were taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to sit on a lot of those without having to wait in line. I mean, not all of them. I still had to wait in line for the ones that were happening when I wasn't on shift. But
right.
If I was volunteering, then I could go in without having to wait in line, which
win-win.
Win-win. So.
You can hear all about that on show 61.
Yes.
And then September, we saw the passing of classic Disney film star Dean Jones. If you're familiar with he was a star of several classic Disney movies from the 50s and 60s. He passed. And then also in September, back to the royal family. Speaking of the Queen, Her Royal Highness, Queen Elizabeth II became Britain's longest ruling monarch, surpassing her great grandmother. I think we get it right.
How many generations?
Well, she's been on the throne so long, it's hard to keep track.
There's 50 years between their reigns, so how much?
Well, she's been ruling for at the time it was 63 years and some odd months and some odd days. Because she celebrated her 60th anniversary in 2012. So with the Diamond Jubilee. So she's been ruling for over 60 years.
Probably at least 2 in the 50 years between them.
Yeah.
1 or 2. How many? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a thing somewhere,
Yeah.
but I don't see it from where I am.
Oh.
So, because I have a British monarchy thing that's like all the way from 1066 all the way up to Queen Elizabeth II, and but I don't know where it is, because otherwise I'd be able to check.
I know Queen Elizabeth I ruled in the 1500s thanks to Doctor Who. Thank you, Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. Probably not important, but
Nah. Sorry to any Britons that may be listening that we don't know your history that well, but it's your history, not ours.
oh, I found it. So, let's see. That's actually quite a few. So, Victoria passed away in 1901, and then her son Edward for like 9 years. Then
George V.
George V till 36.
Edward the Eighth.
The 8 for like less than a year.
Because I think
six.
Yeah. Because I think that Edward that was only a year. I think he's the one that stepped down because he wanted to marry a commoner. You think? I know a little bit of the British history, just not a lot. So, but yeah, Victoria would have been the last longest reigning monarch. So, and now the Queen's getting ready to turn 90. So, she's been busy. And then September. This was going on before this in September, but September was the official gauntlet throwing battle to the death. Because we'd seen the flowering of this all the way back to like San Diego Comic-Con when people had time on their hands, but we saw the Dub Smash War between Team Shield and Team Carter. The official for charity Dub Smash War. They had been at it for weeks, months. We weren't in trouble. They were in trouble when Haley and Chloe both discovered the Dub Smash app. And Haley still uses it. You go on her Instagram. She still uses it when she has a chance. But we got 3 rounds for charity. A dub smash from each team. After each round, people could vote with their money. And that money would go to the respective charities of each team. And after 3 rounds, a winner was declared. In this case, they'll probably do it again. But for this first ever Dub Smash War, Team Carter ended up winning. But it's really the charities and the fans who won more than anything. But we're still waiting for the losers to receive their comeuppance. But we should be seeing Haley and Clark Gregg on Lip Sync Battle here in a couple months. So that should... and then in September also saw the return of Doctor Who, which is always exciting. But it also, the new series came along with the official announcement that Jenna Coleman was leaving Doctor Who. And then speculation began. What episode was she going to go? How was she going to leave? Would she die? Would she do something else? Speculation flew, and we got our answer, which we discussed last week, actually. But we talked about the premiere, the Magician's Apprentice and the Witch's Familiar on show 63. I think I spent most of the show talking about how much I love Michelle Gomez and want her to be my new best friend because she's amazing. And Missy is the best. And then September was... I don't have the show number on here. What was I doing? Quick, somebody find out what the episode was where Chrissy talks about Salt Lake Comic Con. I knew I forgot to do something. Or as we started calling it, Captain America Con. Because that's what it turned into.
Before now.
Huh?
I feel like I should have caught that, but...
No.
So that's...
But, which unfortunately, because of the sheer enormity of some of these guests, that Chrissy didn't get anywhere near Chris Evans or Haley Atwell or Sebastian Stan or Anthony Mackie. But she still had a nice recap of it and what she did get to see and who she got to see.
64.
64! All right. Captain America Con. That's what it was. And then again, also in our episode show 64. That works out well. Maybe that's why I didn't write it, because I knew that they were in the same show.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go with that.
Sure, we'll go with it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
What's that?
I planned it that way. I really did.
Yes, be born!
Yes! We were so excited! we were still while we were watching it, but we've had our discussion on our opinion on Heroes Reborn. At the time, we were really excited. We still kind of are.
Yeah.
We're just a bit more hesitant going into the rest of it. A bit more cautious.
4 more days, and it's back.
Yay! You're going to have to remind me of that, otherwise I'm going to completely forget. Just saying.
I'll put something in the Facebook chat.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good.
Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting here like playing Farmville or something, and I'm going to be like, crap, I missed it. But yes, we saw the return of some of our heroes. Some of them took a little longer to pop up on the screen beyond September. Looking at you here, Nakamura. Just saying. But yes, we did get our sequel, I guess, to Heroes. And then that was pretty much it for September. Like I said, it was kind of full. And in October, we saw, obviously some of these have not been released, but we got the announcements. And again, our wallets cried, that John Hurt would be returning as a war doctor in a series of audios for Big Finish. And we all went, yay, and our wallets went, ah! And then we got the announcement that David Tennant and Catherine Tate would be returning as the 10th Doctor and Donna in a series of audios for Big Finish.
Much rejoicing.
And we went, yay! And our wallets went, ah! And since then, some of the first War Doctor audio has been released. And we've gotten a clip from the 10th Doctor and Donna, and it sounds marvelous. And it's exactly what we want from Big Finish with Doctor Who. And I'm so behind in Big Finish, it's not even funny. I say this every time that we talk about Big Finish. I'm so behind. I need to listen to these audios. If I don't work or sleep, I might be able to do it.
Probably in the Vortex is listening to another one for an upcoming episode.
Yep. Episode they're recording tonight?
Yep. Juggernauts.
What?
I'm behind listening to Traveling the Vortex. I'm like,
So am I got behind over Christmas,
Yeah.
so I just listened to their Christmas special the other day, and I still haven't listened to the episode where they review the Doctor Who Christmas special.
yeah. Like, sorry guys, it was either listen to you or spend time with family, and
Yeah, basically.
spending time with family won.
Yeah, but I go back to work tomorrow, so I can listen to podcasts then.
Yeah, me too.
Although, if they're reviewing the Big Finish on the episode they're recording tonight, I'm gonna have to listen to that first. And then listen, well, unless I listen to the review of Husbands of River Song, and then the Big Finish audio, and then the next episode.
I think that's what they're called. Let's see.
Well, I know it's coming out. Is it this today?
Yes, that's the recording review for the 9th Doctor miniseries and Big Finish's The Juggernauts.
Alright, I'm gonna go check on the website.
Oh, so little time, so much to listen to.
Let's see.
That one's the
Yep.
Doctor and Val. Sixth Doctor
Val?
Val story.
Well,
Yep.
all right. Well,
Of course, it's one of the Sixth Doctor audios. I know.
I have the Big Finish app, so I've got it downloaded through that, which is really cool because I don't have to sync my iPod to my computer to get Big Finish anymore. But I figured out how to sync my iPod to my laptop without actually having to plug it in, because there's a setting in iTunes where you can sync it wirelessly if you're on Wi-Fi. Just really nice.
I did not know that. That's good to know.
Especially when I can't find the cord to, because my iPod is an older one,
Yeah.
so I don't. It's got the 32 point thing. I always have to have cord, so not having to use it is a bonus. Shall we move on?
Mm-hmm. I'll have to remember to bring that up, though, when we talk Big Finish.
What, the app?
Yeah. Good people may not know there is one.
Yeah, it could use some improvements, but like how they sort it and how you find stuff in it. But at least it exists. So.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, I heard about it on something that I listened to. I think it was Verity.
Yeah.
The ladies on Verity were talking about this Big Finish app. So I downloaded it and have been using. I haven't actually listened to anything through it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
There's a Big Finish app if you want to check that out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. And then October, we finally saw the day that Marty McFly reached in Back to the Future 2, where they go to the future. So all those photoshopped images that you've been seeing that Chrissy would always get on her soapbox about. We're like, this is the day Marty McFly goes to the future. No.
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 And those were showing up as early as like 2013.
Yeah. Like, no, they used nice round numbers in the Back to the Future trilogy when going forwards and backwards.
Yes, nice round numbers. 30 years.
Yep. But that was the cherry on the Back to the Future celebrations that have been going since July. Again, with appearances of Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd everywhere.
Everywhere.
Sometimes with the DeLorean, sometimes without. But everywhere. Yeah. Sometimes in character. Sometimes not. But that was very exciting. And then November, we had another guest on the show. We had Melissa from Starbase Indy come on. She was on show number 69. So we got to talk the convention itself, Starbase Indy, some of the history of it, some of the things that people could look forward to the if they were going to attend the most recent one, and got a little insight on what it takes to actually put on a convention. And I knew it was complicated, and I'm sure she even just scratched the surface of some. I'm sure some of the very detailed, if not boring and dull, but still very detailed stuff that goes into putting on a fan convention like that. And there's all sorts of stuff that wouldn't even occur to me that was part of the planning. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend Starbase Indy. I ended up going out of town and having 3 Thanksgiving meals 3 days in a row instead. If I'd gone to Starbase Indy, I may not have been as full, but it is what it is. But it is the con itself is definitely on my radar now. More on my radar than it was before, and with any luck, I'll be able to attend in the future. Unless I go back to Chicago TARDIS, in that case. Sorry.
Yeah.
Until I can be at 2 places at once.
It is.
Until I get a TARDIS and be at 2 places at the same time, or bounce between 2 places. I'm going to have to pick and choose. But that was fun. Good to have her on. And then in happy yet sad news, as we were anxiously counting down the days till the release of The Force Awakens, through the power of social media and just general fandom coolness, because in general, our fandoms are full of very cool and awesome people who will do awesome things for each other. People stepped up and made it so that a very big Star Wars fan, Daniel Fleetwood, who at the time was suffering from cancer and was terminal, essentially, and didn't think he was going to live to see the release of Episode 7. Through the power of fandom, they were able to get word to the powers that be in J.J. Abrams, and he was able to see. It was a rough cut, but I'm sure the cut that he saw was just as amazing as what got released in the theaters. But he got to have a screening of a cut of The Force Awakens and see it, and he ended up passing away not long after he got to see it. So he was able to hold out long enough to see the newest installment in Star Wars before he passed. But that it goes to show the power that the fans have in a positive way. I know we've talked about when fans go bad. All the way back when we talked about trolls and other nasty things in the underbelly of fandoms. But the things like this happen, it just goes to show how positive and amazingly wonderful fans can be to each other when the need arises. So it was a wonderful thing for the fans to do and band together to make sure that happened for him. And then also in November, kind of mentioned this earlier, we got the premiere of Jessica Jones, which like I said earlier, I was able to watch a lot faster than Daredevil. Some of that was I knew better what I was in for, and second, I was just fascinated by it. Jessica's just it's we'll have to discuss Jessica Jones and Daredevil at some point.
Yeah.
But she's not your typical superhero by any means, and the storytelling it's raw and it's dark and it's gritty, and at the same time it's grossly entertaining because it's well written and it's well acted, and David Tennant I said this going into it, and even after I started watching it, that, if you're a fan of David Tennant for Doctor Who and that's it, you do not want to watch Jessica Jones. It will ruin David Tennant for you for life. But if you love David Tennant as an actor and his versatility, he does not disappoint.
No.
Hello.
Hey, there's Chrissy!
Hello. She's here!
I'm guessing we've already,
We're in November.
Oh, okay. Well, hello everybody. I opened up the Word doc and
Yep.
or the Google thing, and I'm like, there's no. Anyway, never mind.
We're in November.
We're in November.
Yeah.
Hello, November.
But if we want to backtrack a little back to October, also in October, Chrissy got engaged.
Yes, in October. Well, officially in October, I got engaged. It was sort of unofficial in September, but yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. How's it going? I just got back having dinner with soon to be in-laws. Anyway. That's what happens when you're on Mountain Time Zone. You're 2 hours behind everybody else.
But dinner was forever ago, not for you.
No, it was just a little while ago. We just had dessert. Anyway, so November. So you're Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yep. Well, we discussed Jessica a little when we were talking Daredevil, but
Yeah.
saying we'll have to do an episode where we discuss the Netflix superhero series Daredevil and Jessica Jones, preferably before they release any more, because by the time we get like Luke Cage and some
Daredevil season 2.
Daredevil season 2 is going to be harder to talk about.
and apparently this is rumor, but sure, let's let the rumor mill churn on. They're supposed to be doing a Defenders TV series, which is Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, the Punisher. It's sort of like the Avengers, but on Netflix.
the down and dirty Avengers.
Yes.
It's the Avengers of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, something like that.
Essentially. So, yeah, I've seen that's potential.
There's a possibility
series.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I still have not watched that, but we've been obsessing over Fallout 4, which we got an Xbox One and Fallout 4 for Christmas. So Jared's a lot further than I am on it, but that's okay. I just started.
Yeah, I was reiterating my statement about David Tennant.
Yeah.
It's like, don't watch this for David Tennant if you're a Doctor Who David Tennant fan, because it's no. I can't emphasize that enough. No.
The little I've seen, because I'm still a little bit behind. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Creepy.
It's good though. It is
really good.
It's really good. So I have Jessica Jones is on my short list for cosplays for the year. So she's an easy cosplay too. All I gotta do is get the wig for the hair. Everything else I already own. I not just smile. I gotta figure out the bad attitude.
Of Jessica Jones being like 4.
Yeah.
Like,
She just doesn't care.
You have the grim demeanor. Maybe like a I don't know. Her eyes, like, how do I describe this? Her eyes, like, around her eyes just look very dark. She just has a very dark and gritty visage. Like she's seen a lot.
Yeah.
And been through a lot.
Yeah. And drinks a lot.
Yes.
And doesn't sleep very well. Yeah. I'll not sleep the week before the con, and I'm not going to drink, but bring the attitude into the right realm. I don't know. It's a discussion for another time. Cosplay.
Speaking of
motivation,
we've been working on something.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's not done yet. If you've seen my Instagram, you know exactly. Well, No, I don't know if you know exactly what it is. If you're on my Facebook page, because I put it on. Well, if you're friends with me, I know you've seen it on my Facebook page, but my my blog's Facebook page there, I've also put pictures. So.
What are you going to do about the jacket?
I am not making a jacket. Actually, I'm making a hat. I'm making a patchwork hat instead. So.
That would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yep. That was the plan all along. I was not going to try and make the coat. As much as I love the Sixth Doctor, I was not going to try and make the coat. One, because there's not really a pattern to be able to make it that exists to get like the patches and stuff in the right shape and combination, all that. And two, a lot of those fabrics do not exist. So to replicate it is the people I've seen that have made their own, they've had to go lengths of like having the fabrics like custom dyed and custom woven and all that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own spin on things and use easy to use fabrics and easy to find fabrics, and we're gonna make a hat instead.
That's what I've noticed is kind of the fun of doing the femi doctors, I guess, is to put the spin on it, and you just get creative with it. Because I mean, you could do the straight up, just
Fem doctors. I bought a 11th Doctor dress from Hot Topic.
Nice.
So yeah, you could do the straight up. Because my 5th Doctor cosplay is I have, instead of stripe trousers, I have a skirt with a basic approximation of the stripe that he wears. But then I have the coat and the sweater and the hat and a bit of fake celery. But I see people that do all kinds of variations with it, and so we're gonna have one with a patchwork hat. Okay, for 6th Doctor. I like this plan.
Yeah. Well, it's on the list of show topics, but we'll have to do a cosplay show. I've got friends that are really into cosplay and are semi-professional cosplayers, and I'll have to see if one or two of them is available to have them on as guests and discuss cosplay, because the more I get into it, it's fun and frustrating all at the same time. Because now that I've gotten into it and have realized how fun it is and how creative you can get with it, I'm like, do all the characters I've ever liked ever. And then you realize, there's not enough time and cons in the world to wear them all.
Oh yeah. There are so many ideas, and it's just, if you had the time and the resources and the opportunity, and you didn't have to, work and eat and sleep, then you can make it work. But yeah, you have to pick and choose.
Yeah, which right now is why I have my 6th Doctor cosplay and Jessica Jones as the only two I'm doing this year. If we'll see what kind of energy and time and money I have later down the line, but that's two.
Which I'm focusing on the 11th Doctor. Because I got quite a bit of. I got the tweed, I got the purple jacket, now I got this dress from Hot Topic.
So you're good.
I'm good. For now.
You're well on your way.
Yeah.
Until the bug strikes again.
Playing the 11th Doctor at conventions for a while.
It's even better when you can cosplay the 11th Doctor while meeting the 11th Doctor.
Which I'm hoping to do for the 5th Doctor in March.
Right now I have no opportunities to meet the 6th Doctor. But
When I was cosplaying the 11th Doctor when I got Maximus' autograph on the Friday of Fan Expo 2014. So,
see, now Colin Baker needs to come to something that I can attend. I'm gonna have the costume. Now he needs to be within a reasonable distance of me so I can wear it and meet him. And hopefully not cry. Anyway.
Well, he has been known to make the rounds, so
Yes.
it could very well happen.
Yeah. And I've been known to cry, so it's bound to happen. Moving on. Also in November, we saw the official/unofficial, depending on who you talk to, end of the Hunger Games franchise of movies, which we discussed the Hunger Games as a whole in show 70. So we discussed the books and the movies and touched upon some other young adult dystopian type books that are out there of similar ilk. I have yet to see the movie that
I have too. This is what happens when you
going to see
have a
Star
wedding-
Wars
have a
multiple
wedding
times
plan
instead.
and things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've missed that one, sort of.
Yeah.
Oops.
I was gonna have to go catch a matinee in the middle of the day because
Yeah.
if I go to the movies and Chauncey goes with me, it's Star Wars. So
Yeah. I have that problem too.
yeah. Do we go to the movies or we want to see Star Wars? Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Well,
You got to add to that record-breaking
Yeah.
box office.
Yes.
One Cameron movie down, one to go.
Yep.
It's in our sights.
highest grossing. I mean, it's getting pretty close to the highest grossing of all time.
I know,
And
it's
it still
wonderful.
hasn't been released in China.
It still hasn't opened in China, and there's like a sixth of the population
Yep.
big into that sort of thing. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. I guess that ties in well to December. With that little movie that came out that's quickly making its way to the top of the record, every movie record list that it qualifies for.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
It surpassed the boat one, and
I'm still greatly amused by that.
and it's quickly set its sights on the one with the blue people.
Dances with Smurf Gully is what I call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
Exciting.
So Star Wars is plowing through all the records, and rightfully so. It should.
Absolutely. I'll go see it again, probably.
I might be going to see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be right next door to it for like some shopping. Like, I just. Oh.
I'd go see it again.
Might as well. What else you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
At least you know it's money well spent.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah, so maybe because it releases in China on Friday, the 8th. Is that when?
Yes, I want to.
So,
8th or 10th.
Yeah, so potentially by the time we record next weekend,
we'll be like, yep.
Yep, highest grossing movie of all time ever. Probably. At the pace it's going to, and once it opens, once it gets that, once it gets that China market, it's gonna.
It's all over.
Yeah. And we
game over, man.
Yay! Of course, we wax poetic about episode 7 and show 74, just a couple weeks ago.
Many spoilers, but you know what? I think we're at the point that if you care about spoilers, you have seen the movie already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Even my mom knows what happens, and she doesn't even know Star Wars. She doesn't care to see it, but she knows what happens. So.
Yeah,
She
all
wouldn't know
weekend.
Luke Skywalker if he stepped on her toes. She'd know Jar Jar Binks, but anyone else, she'd have no idea. But she knows
Yeah,
what happens to that one person. So.
That one person with the one thing. Yeah, all
Mhm.
weekend, Jared's cousins and he had some family in town from Idaho, and some of them had not seen Star Wars yet, and they were like, we were trying to talk about it, and they're like, no, don't tell us. I'm like, why have you not seen this movie yet? Get to the movie theater, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have time to go with them, but probably should have now that I think about it. But
Yeah.
oh well.
Go watch the thing. Hopefully by this time if your local movie theater probably isn't packed to the gills.
Yeah.
So that should be in your favor, especially with all schools and stuff starting back up. So
Yeah.
you if that's been the concern, if you're concerned your theater was just going to be too full, if you can, go during the day when school's in session, and you'll probably find that it's a lot less busy.
Probably yes.
Just watch your fluid intake because you're not going to want to get up. Make sure you don't have to go to the bathroom. No.
Even multiple viewings, I still want to get up.
Yeah, me too. It's like, I know when I could get up if I really needed to, but I don't think I'd want to.
Well, it's a matter of how fast can I go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after... I think it was the Desolation of Smaug. Unfortunately, I had to get up and go in the middle of it.
Well, that one, there were a lot of battles, and you kind of knew that you could go.
Well, yeah. But still, I went and came back, like, what did I miss?
Or no, wait, that was the second one. There was a third one that really weren't sure what was going on.
Yeah.
I remember
the Battle of the 4.5 Armies.
Yeah, Battle of 5 Armies, yeah.
5-ish armies.
Battle.
And then to round out the year, and we discussed this just last week, was the Doctor Who Christmas special this year with the return of River Song.
And pretty much wrapping up her entire storyline, even though we're like, dude, we want more with River and the 12th Doctor, but we're probably never going to get it. It's probably just as well.
Yeah.
But I shall miss her.
Yes. But we will be getting River and the 8th Doctor in Big Finish, though.
Yes. Bless Big Finish for all that they do.
Yeah. And again,
they are wonderful.
Again, we go, yay, and our wallets go,
Our wallets cry, and it's like, shut up.
Yep.
You'll get this and you'll like it.
Exactly. Again, Big Finish on the list of things to talk about in the future.
We're getting there.
So, that's it for officially 2015. I mean, we had that little Sherlock special, but that was technically in 2016, so...
Yep, which I still need to sit down and watch.
Yeah, Brittany hasn't seen it either.
So here's my brief warning. If you have Fallout and you don't have a lot of free time, don't start it. I didn't believe them when people said, "Oh my gosh, it's such a time suck," because it's so much fun. Maybe that will be a topic.
I'm kind of the same with Skyrim.
Well, Skyrim, I believe, I may have to be corrected on this. I believe Skyrim is from the same people who do Fallout, so they're very good at that kind of thing.
So,
yeah, it was funny. We were at Walmart yesterday because Jared wanted to get Halo 5 for Xbox One, and we bought like a one of those big what are they called? Like video game cheat books, I guess. They're big I don't know what they're called. You can tell I'm not naturally a gamer, but I'm learning. and you know, we're checking out, getting a bunch of stuff, and at the checkout, the checkout lady, the register prompts her to, you know, ask for ID. You know, is this person over 17? Because Fallout 4 is rated M. And we're like, well, yeah, we're 17, and you know, and she's like, you know, why does this book trigger this? And we're like, well, you know, it's a rated M video game, or it's for a rated M video game. And she's like, and she looks at Jared, and she's like, oh, I don't let my son have those violent video games. So I'm like, well, technically the book's for me, because I'm kind of finding out that I'm the sort of person, when I game, I want to have all the little backstories and maps and things. I want to like know everything I can about the game that I'm playing.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So he was all like, "Here, you might enjoy this," and I'm looking at him like, "Ooh, yes." So it was just funny that she kind of assumed who it was for, and I just said, and I was nice about it. I mean, I'm like, yes, it's very violent, but it's kind of fun too. So, I mean, it's her prerogative to let her son have what he has. I just thought it was funny. I laughed. Some people might have been offended. I was not.
And just in case anyone wants to know, Fallout 4 and Skyrim all from the same people.
That's what I thought. I was like, I think that sounds familiar. It's Bethesda Studios, which so far I'm like, my expertise, such as it is very little, but I'm like, dude, these people know how to do stuff. I'm quite impressed. I don't know. I guess I used to think I didn't. When people talk about the stories in video games, I'm like, okay, how does a video game have a storyline? And now I get it, and I'm okay with that.
How far are you in Fallout 4?
Me personally, I just got to Concord and met the Minutemen. Jared's character is a lot further along than mine is. I let him play. Well, I got it for him mostly, but he's been looking forward to this, so I let him. Well, I didn't let him, but he's been playing longer than I have. And the other day I was like, I want to try, and he was like, ooh, let's make you a character and do all this stuff, and it was fun. So yeah, he's like level 20, I'm like level 3.
You'll get there. Just keep on trucking.
I will get there. It took me a while because I'm not used to the controls and how you have to aim and look around and things. So that's kind of been my trying to figure that out. But I'm learning. I am a newbie, and I freely admit this.
Yeah, I always tell, like, when people say, oh, I play this game, I'm like, I'm gonna die so many times and push all the wrong buttons before I even master it off.
And you know, the great thing about this is like, it helps to have someone who's very patient with you, and you know, all the times I messed up, and he was like, no, it's okay, just, you know, do this, and it's fine, and so it's been a lot of fun. Anyway, before I derailed the topic into Fallout.
Hey, that's what we do. Tangents.
It's in our tagline, you know.
Yeah.
It's in our tagline. It's in our blood.
This is how things are done around here.
Mm-hmm. You know, we couldn't start off the new year without at least a tangent or two.
Indeed. Word up.
Yep. That's the way we roll. Oh. Yeah. That's 2015 in a nutshell for the most part. So we're a few days into 2016 and slowly grinding. The gears are winding up to, well, we had the Sherlock special, so that was a nice start for the year, and got all sorts of exciting things. So we got the rest of Heroes Reborn. We've got the return of Peggy. Of course, all of our...
Peggy!
Yeah. And we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Once Upon a Time to get the other half of their seasons.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time is going to just destroy me, but all in a good way. I have decided. That's why I watch this show.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got all sorts of other stuff to look forward to. Lots of movies, lots of TV shows.
So, where's that list of what's coming back when, so I can keep track of it?
Yeah, really.
I know. I gotta figure out.
There was a list published somewhere.
I did have a list, like a whole bunch of shows. Like, I mean, a lot of it was like, I don't even know what this show is, but it did have, let me find it.
Yeah, they're somewhere. And while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and do the whole, if you want to get in touch with us, send us feedback or whatever, go to our website at the fiveishfangirlspodcast.blogspot.com. Find us on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram and Pinterest and iTunes and YouTube and Patreon and all those lovely other. I think that's what we've got. And yeah, just get in touch with us. Let us know what your thoughts are on anything from 2015 or what you're looking forward to coming up soon. If it's Agent Carter or Once Upon a Time or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or any of the, oh my gosh, so many movies coming back this year. I mean, or coming out this year. It's not even funny. Civil War, Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm just going off the top of my head.
We'll probably have some listeners that wanna watch it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
The new Independence Day.
Oh yeah, new Independence Day. That's a thing.
That other Star Wars movie that's coming out this year.
Yes.
Like we just had a Star Wars movie. Hey, we're getting another one.
That's the plan, isn't it?
Yep. That's the nice thing about it. Plus all those Marvel movies. Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange.
Which Benedict is looking quite good as Doctor Strange, if I do say so myself. I may be a little opinionated when it comes to him.
Hey, opinions on such things are wonderful.
He's pretty.
Nice little.
Good Lord. I guess as far as the immediate future goes, next week we shall be discussing The Librarians, and we came up with a nice little quandary for those listening that maybe if you want to join us or send in feedback for next week, as we were somewhat discussing The Librarians until we realized we should probably wait until next week. But we did pose the question because there is time travel involved with the season finale. Which Doctor do you think Eve would pair best with?
Interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't here for pre-show, obviously, so now it's the first time hearing of this. I will have to think on this.
That's what I said. I came up with the answer and then changed my mind.
There are several possibilities.
Mm-hmm. But we will discuss that next week.
Yes.
We discuss the
so a bit of an appetizer.
Appetizer.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, an appetizer.
Yeah.
It's a teaser.
Something like that.
Oh, okay, I'm getting punchy, guys. It's just the end of vacation, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
go
I
back
have so
to
much
work
to do.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow marks 1 month until my wedding. I feel like I have so much to do, and actually I really don't, but I think it's one of those things, it's like, it just feels stressful.
Yeah. It'll be okay.
It will be. It'll be fun. The day will come and it will be great.
Mm-hmm. And if you need to vent, we're here. You know where to find us.
Yes, I do.
Alrighty. Well, I guess with that, we'll sign off for this week for show 2016.
This is Brittany and Bona saying goodnight.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City saying goodnight and Happy New Year.
This is Sally from Wisconsin. Wishing everyone a happy New Year and a good evening.
Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario. Good night, everybody, and Happy New Year.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's New Year, and I need to start exercising because my pants don't fit. Tomorrow. That's what everybody says.
That's what they all say.
But for now, good night, everyone.
You have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.